Hey people, it's time for Monday rambling. I said I wasn't going to do it. Or I said I might do it. Then I realized there's a couple of things that I forgot to say last thing. And yeah. Also, look how much I have left. I have to be done with that by tomorrow. Un momento. Okay. As I was saying. Oh yeah. So like I was the other day, like Saturday, I was looking up on the calendar to see when the thing was, to see like when Valentine's Day was, and to see if we didn't have school. We don't. It's like Lincoln's Day or something like that. Anyway, so we don't have Valentine's Day at school, which means I have to be done with the pink diamond by the 13th instead of the 14th. Both of them. And I don't know where my second pair of knitting needles are. I may have to finish off this scarf before I finish off the whole ball, and that makes me upset. Anyway, but like, I'm going to be knitting for this video. I'll probably be knitting more today. And then I'll come home early from school because we have half days this week. And then I will watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX while knitting. And then, yeah. And we'll see how far I get from there. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, like, you know, I've been saying, like, summer is when I finally, like, realize my anger at Ellie. And then I realized, like, I've been doing I was doing small things before that. I realized that it wasn't summer. It was at the Valentine's dance last year. The Valentine's dance on the 15th. Pretty much we didn't have school on the 15th because I'm not going to say, but we had dance days. Weird. Anyway, and like I looked up on the calendar and it said Valentine's dance on the 13th. Because God forbid we have a Valentine's dance on Valentine's Day. I guess they thought it'd be better that people couldn't want to see school people over the long weekend. I was like, it just so happened, like, last year was the 15th, this year is the 13th. Yep. Anyway, so I asked her on the 14th, do you want to be my pale date to the dance? Pale is Moirail. Pretty much when you're flush with someone that's mate spit, paled with someone that's Moirail, black with someone that's Kismesis, and ashen with someone that's Lapis. Yeah. It's like saying you're in love with them, only with different things. Anyway, I said, do you want to be my pale date to the dance? And she said, sure. And then the next day, I'm chatting with her and say, like, hey, are you excited for the dance? And she was like, actually, I have a lot of Japanese homework, because she did Japanese classes back then. And she's like, I have a lot of Japanese homework, and I can't, like, I gotta finish it, and it's due tomorrow, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, every once in a while, I would text her to see if she finished early, and she said no. And so she didn't finish, so I went to the dance by myself. I kind of sucked, because, like, no one that I really knew was going to the dance. Like, there were a couple people, like, familiar faces. Like, pretty much it was, like, the high school, because I go to a middle school, high school place. And, like, the middle schoolers were there from 6 to 8, and then the high schoolers would be there from 8 to 10. And that was pretty cool because, like, little middle school peckers getting in the way of everything. Nah, they're, some of them are pretty cool, but, you know, some of them are just so small. Like, I wasn't that short. Like, I know I'm not tall. I mean, I am kind of tall for my age. But, like, Jesus, I saw, like, this girl. She was, like, coming out of my school. And I was like, she's got to be at least a 6th grader, but she looks like she's 7! Like, something happened to all the kids who were born in 2000 and later. Like, seriously, anyway, so, like, I knew there were familiar faces, and I hung out with some people, blah, blah, blah. But I was mostly alone for the dance. I kept texting her, like, my dad said, like, he could pick her up, like, he would go to Starbucks for, like, half an hour, and then, like, if she changed her mind, or if she, like, finished, he could go pick her up and bring her over. Like, that was really awesome of him. So I kept texting her throughout the dance and saying, like, yeah, I'm at the dance, and she was like, I'm not done yet. And so my dad's half an hour went by. Yeah, and I was just partying at the dance. And so I'm texting her because, like, I got there early. Like, well, I didn't get there early, but, like, I'm one of the people who tends to get to things, like, right when it opens. Like, and right when it opens is, like, everyone's, like, if you go to high school dances and things, right when it opens is, like, everyone's still panicking, like, trying to get stuff ready. Like, there is a game night on Friday, and, like, the front, like, I got there at 5:59. I looked at my clock, and I didn't walk through, like, the gate until 6. Like, when it's 6 on the dot. Like, so there was no way I was early. And the front desk didn't even have a money box. I'm just like, yeah. So yeah, it was kind of boring at first. Like, not everyone had shown up yet. Like, I didn't know who was coming. Anyway. So I'm going through the dance. I'm texting her, and she says, oh my god, guess what? And I say, what? Yeah, this is probably going to be obvious, but obvious what, oh my god, guess what is, but anyway, it's Valentine's Day. I felt kind of bad. I mean, like, everything, like, made me want to have a relationship. Like, there were a bunch of people who were dating at my school, and they're just like, it's Valentine's Day. You just cannot get away from coupley shit. And, like, when you're single, you feel like shit. Like, Valentine's Day sucks when you're single. Anyway. So, yeah. So I was upset. I wasn't too upset, because I wasn't doing this full long. And like, a couple of my friends, like Dave, he had a relationship. But, like, Ellie, she was single like me. Like, that was great. Anyway, so I'm at the dance, alone. And she texts me and goes, oh my god, guess what? And I say, what? She said, like, I was texting Eddie, and I said that I would go out with him. And I said, oh, really? And I don't remember what I said, and I know I deleted it. So, but it was pretty snarky. I think it was along the lines of, like, so you get a boyfriend and I get to be alone at the dance. And that's what was going through my head. And it just, like, thinking back on that, like, that just adds more to the fact that she liked the idea of having a boyfriend than having a boyfriend, than actually, like, liking him. Something else that I'll talk to you. Let me finish the story first. But yeah, because she probably felt the same way. Like, she went through Valentine's Day by herself, and she felt lonely. So he had asked her out. Like, they met like months before that at this game night school was hosting. That was fun. And I told her, I think he has a crush on you. And, like, we were texting, and she was like, no, he doesn't. And I sent her, like, 15 ways to know someone likes you. And, like, I listed off, like, 2, 3, 5, 7. Like, I just listed off a bunch of things of how he liked you. And she was like, but he didn't do number 10. And it's like, no, it's not a checklist. Well, I guess it is kind of a checklist, but it's not like if he doesn't do all 15, he doesn't love you whatsoever. He did, like, 10 out of 15 in, like, the 2 hours they were talking. And, yeah. And, guess what? Over Dickens Fair, he asked her out. And she told him, like, we only know each other a little bit. We're, like, known each other. We've only, like, actually seen each other for a couple hours. I mean, we've texted a little bit, but we've only seen each other for a couple of hours. And, yeah. And he was like, yeah, okay. And then we're talking to Dave about this, and, like, he goes to our school, sister school, which Dave went to for middle school, or 7th grade, I think. He went to Lincoln. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't live in Alameda. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, like, he knew him, and he was like, oh, he's not that great. And I was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, he's kind of an asshole. And he's pretty, like, stupid and all of that. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, maybe you shouldn't go out with him. And I'm like, and then I'm, like, talking to her, and she was like, you were telling me to text him, and she was, like, saying, like, she was texting, and I was like, you really shouldn't be, and, like a month ago, you were telling me to, like, text him, ask him out, and stuff, and I was like, yeah, but then Dave told me that he wasn't that great, and, like, I believe him. Well, this was a time where I wasn't really angry at Dave. Didn't really notice that he had, like, this really big anger for him. He's pessimistic. If that's how it's... Okay. Here. I said, wouldn't it be cool if, like, we had school in one of the conference rooms? That way, in one of the conference rooms at Disneyland. That way we could go to Disneyland after school, like, every day. And he said, like, no, that wouldn't be cool because school would ruin Disneyland. I was like, no, Disneyland would make school better. Like, that's the difference between being optimistic and being pessimistic. I don't know. I was saying this great thing. Pretty much I was saying this great thing can make a bad thing better, and he was saying this bad thing could make this great thing worse. And it just, like, kind of depressed me. I was like, dude, Disneyland! Disneyland! Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So anyway, Valentine's Day, and, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, she probably felt lonely, and it's like Valentine's Day single shit. So she said, like, yeah, we can go out. So yeah, I'm alone. She got a boyfriend that she doesn't actually like. I mean, she likes him fine. And yeah. Anyway, new story, fast forward to November. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of January. This happened at the end of November. Eddie texted her saying, are we broken up? She hasn't responded to him yet. I know her, like, communication sucks. I know this. But this is just one of those things where you respond to them. She said, like, yeah, I'll respond to him later. I'll respond to him over the weekend. I'll respond to him over break. She hasn't responded to him yet, because if she had responded to him, he wouldn't be chatting with me all the time on Facebook, having the same goddamn conversation, because he just forgets. I swear to God, like, everyone in my family forgets things. Like, Dave, he forgets a lot. Especially he drinks. And smokes. And yeah, I know, he's in high school and he's way too young. And yes, marijuana is still legal in California. But yeah, that has affected his brain because he forgets very much. Ellie has always forgotten. My mom's mom is like, I'm not quite sure what it's called. I think it's, oh damn. Anyway, she's just forgetting. Like, she can't remember like 2 minutes. It's horrible. And it's so fucking annoying. And it's just like, and Eddie just forgets all the time. Like, things that she has told him. He asks her again, and she's like, I told you this like a month ago. My birthday is blah blah blah. Or like, my mom's name is blah blah blah. And it's just like, anyway, every once in a while he keeps texting me. And he's asked her about this. And we've talked about this. And he says, Ellie was walking with another boy. And he said he had emo hair. And I'm like, what's the matter with you? It's like, you see emo hair. I'm just like, what's wrong with emo hair? One, the emo hair was a cat hat. It was like just warm hat with cat ears on it. 2, kid's in 8th grade. 3, he's her friend. Like, I am really fucking pissed how many times people go, oh my god, a boy and a girl are hanging out together, they must be in love. And it's just like, no, there's a thing called friends. She friend-zoned him, he friend-zoned her. What's that called again? Friends! Jesus fucking Christ! Oh, I said he was in 8th grade. He was in her anime club, so, like, yeah, anime stuff to talk about. Oh, what's that last thing? Oh, yeah, he's gay. So, that's not gonna happen. Even if she did like him, that's just not gonna happen because gay. And I told him this. She's told him this. And it gets worse. The other day, a friend, mostly a friend of Ellie's, who I really don't talk to that much. It's just, we don't talk that much. Here, I can bring it up. It's on my Gmail. I'm not going to name names, because I don't know her that well. Like, I name names with my close friends, but I'm not going to name names. If I've already named Ellie's boyfriend, I feel bad. But I'm not going to name who texts me. But anyway, one of Ellie's friends said, hi, this is random, but you know, insert boyfriend here, he wants to talk to Eleanor, and he thinks she hates him. I don't know what's going on. He randomly messaged me, and I said, he does that. He's been messaging me too. And she's like, okay, lol. Because I don't even know him. Did they break up? And I said, not exactly. He asked her, but she didn't respond because she wants to, but doesn't know how. Another thing, her not responding, like, he keeps texting me and saying, like, I think she's not responding to me because she wants to break up with me, and she just doesn't know how. And, like, I talked to her about it, and she said, actually, that's kind of the truth. I don't know what to do. So, yeah, she really needs to talk to him about that. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what to say to him, though. Neither do I. He just wants to rant at everyone who knows Ellie and see if he can get him on his side of the breakup. And that's when I realized Like, when he texted her, like, texting me, like, he texted me because I'm having the same issues. Like, the biggest reason is because of the contact problem. And, like, part of a relationship is to communicate. Like, communicate. Like, that is how you make a relationship strong, is you have conversations. And, like, since she doesn't have conversations with the both of us, we're both thinking about breaking up with her. Like, him, like, romantically and me platonically. But he was texting a girl who she said she doesn't know him. And that's when I realized he's trying to get all of her friends against her. He wants to be the good guy. He wants people to feel like, oh, poor baby. And he's being an asshole. That's what he's being. So he's being an asshole with it, she's being a coward with it, and the two of them just need to break up. And no, not at Fanime. He told me that the two of us needed to have this big dramatic breakup shit with her at Fanime to break her heart. No! And he wanted to do that because her parents would be there and they would hurt us, because her parents are totally evil. And he's, like, afraid that she would try to, like, physically hurt us. It's like, she's not strong. I'm just like, no, not at Fanime. Anyway, later, guys.